Jeez. Oh, hey. Look at you. Happy Tuesday. What a marvelous time to be alive. Well, if you aren't working for CNN Plus. Sick burn. But you should consider yourself lucky and grateful. And not just because you're watching a former Calvin Klein underwear model who also happens to be the king of late night. Although you should be. Gratitude matters. I even thanked my assistant today by not making her cry when the soup she brought me had only 3 sliced shallots instead of 4. I still threw it in her face. Oh. So, do you show enough gratitude for all the great things in your life? Are you grateful for your family, your friends, your proctologist with really slender fingers? That matters. And what about me? Are you thankful for me? Then why didn't you show it? Why not get a tattoo of my name on your face? What's stopping you? Your upcoming job interview? Your loved ones? Dignity? Well, that's not stopping Luis Angle Hernadez. This LA gang member convicted of murder vows to get the ultra-woke district attorney George Gascón's name tattooed on his face for shaving years off his sentence. Now, he might be lying. After all, he is a murderer. But it's great. Now we can identify failed liberal policies by the tattoo on our assailants' faces. Hernandez had pleaded guilty to murder as well as personal use of a firearm for the killing of a pot delivery person back in 2018. It raises the question, what other kinds of uses are there besides personal use when you're the shooter? Last time I checked, Smith & Wesson didn't have a friends and family plan. But also, he killed a pot delivery person. Why not just kill Santa Claus? Am I right, Kat?
Because I do drugs.
The audio of a jailhouse phone call obtained by Fox News has the murderer gushing about the great things Gascón did for him.
We got a new DA in LA, so they're gonna. I got court on the 14th, fool, right there in Compton, Thursday. So they're gonna drop a gang of like my gun enhancement, my gang enhancement. My gang enhancement's 10 years, fool, for being a gang member.
Gascón or where?
If I don't get that name on my face, that's a champ right there.
True. Gascón is making historic changes for all of us, not just murderers. We pass laws and then he ignores them, just like the criminals. And with people like Hernandez back on the streets, we become history too. And if he kills us, all he has to do is get another tattoo. Your last words could be, why would you ruin your face? But of course, nothing says tough on crime like getting a ringing endorsement from a convicted murderer. At least someone is finally thanking Democrats. But then again, maybe perps getting tattoos to celebrate skating free is more common than we think.
Man, this story about that tattoo guy's insane, huh?
No, who hasn't gotten a tattoo to celebrate beating the system?
Wait a minute, you've done that?
Yeah, this is when I beat that shoplifting charge.
Wow, Kat, that is absolutely insane. You look like you're in a biker gang.
This one on my stomach, this is when I didn't get in trouble for loitering.
Oh my God, the colors are so vivid. It really accentuates your midriff.
Oh, my favorite one's probably this one on my bicep. I didn't even get in trouble for taking a tag off a mattress.
Oh my God, you're so muscular and hairy.
That is an all-timer. So hairy. Initially, this gangbanger faced a life sentence without the possibility of parole, facing what's called several enhancements. And I'm not talking about collagen injections or breast implants. For example, being in a gang should add 10 years to your sentence, but that means, of course, more jail time. And in the modern woke handbook, that's the very worst. Containing criminals is seen as oppressive, especially to them. It infringes on their rights to go out and mug, rape, or murder. And do you really have the right to deny them that right? They're oppressed enough as it is. But in a world with pregnant men, the perpetrators are the victims. After all, we're just subjects in the left's great cultural experiment. What happens to us when we let violent thugs out into the general population and eliminate disincentives for crime? You don't have to be Matlock or Angela Lansbury or any other TV detective that I have a poster of next to my bed, which is shaped like a race car. FYI. Of course, after those enhancements were dropped, thanks to Gascón, back in 2020, crime and murder shot up quicker than Nikki Sixx 3 minutes before showtime. So hence the show of appreciation by getting a new tattoo. Now every time someone asks about the tattoo, he has to tell them, it's because I'm a murderer. Well, good luck getting a job. But you got to hand it to Gascón. He's got some serious street cred. I mean, gangbangers love this lawyer. Their victims, not so much. But I don't know if there's anything I love that much to get its name tattooed on my face. Let me think. Yeah. I wonder what Cat would have. Ugh. Jerk. Hairy jerk. Although details of Hernandez's new sentence aren't clear, according to Fox News, he'll be able to qualify for youth offender parole, or YOP, which limits his sentence to 25 years. And if you think he'll serve that out, you're as nutty as a king-size payday bar. He'll finish his sentence around the time I finish this one. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's on our list of 40 under 40 who look like they're 14. Host of The Guy Benson Show and Fox News contributor, Guy Benson. She puts the fun in discussing hybrid money market funds. Fox business correspondent, Susan Lee. He's called box office poison because the audience takes cyanide. Writer and comedian, Joe DeVito. And finally, she proves blondes have more fun. If by fun you mean arrest warrants. Fox News contributor, Kat Tiff. You know, before we start, I just want to point out that half our studio audience is stuck in an elevator. That's how small our audience is. I'm not kidding. Gene is stuck in an elevator. Been there for like a long time. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. You know he is. That's where he is.
I did not know that.
No.
Really?
Yeah, he's stuck in an elevator. Been there for a long time. So anyway, guys, back to the show. Back to the show. What is the point of being a woke DA? Like, why is it, does letting criminals back onto the street help them? Like, what is the point?
First of all, I want to make sure that I get my royalty check for that shot of the tattoo on my abdomen, so thank you.
Are you that hairy? God, Cat is... Cat's like a bear, and I mean the kind of bear you like.
Greg knows the answer to his own question, actually. But look, I think you're going at this whole story all wrong.
Okay.
You're of course, coming at it from a very negative perspective, very Fox News of you.
Yes, that's
This
true.
is an inspirational story of redemption. There's a beautiful friendship that's blossoming here, and you just want to focus on the murder.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes murderers get tattoos representing their victims. This guy is getting one representing the guy who's helping him out, like his DA buddy. And I think there could be like maybe a sitcom or something in this.
So you're saying
CBS.
it's like, this is like progress. It's like progress. We've gone from, we've actually, and it is a little, it's kind of impressive that he knows enough about Gascón.
No, he's like a wonk on the details of criminal justice reform.
Exactly.
It's impressive.
What else are you going to do in prison?
Yes, he's going to be out soon, a Cat, so you better say something nice about him.
He's cute.
Oh, Susan, is there
thanks.
thanks.
Is Gene locked up right now?
Yeah,
He's
Gene is
technically locked up in an
Gene is in an
elevator,
elevator.
isn't he?
But I want to
Should
ask
we
you,
be concerned?
from the business perspective,
I'm just being,
don't worry
I
about
have to
Gene.
care.
Gene is a big boy. He can handle himself. Let's talk about what are the impacts of face tattoos in job interviews. You're on the FBN.
Yeah.
What do people get? It's got to reduce your chances for a job.
Yeah, well, yes. I didn't even think about it that way because I thought it was the stupidest thing to celebrate getting out of life in prison with a permanent tattoo on your face. But that makes a lot of sense, doesn't
Yeah.
it? No, but in terms of safety, though, I do have to point out the high crime rate here in New York.
Right.
Because my family was very concerned about me with the Brooklyn shooting.
Yeah.
I haven't been on the subway in 2.5 years. As an Asian woman, I feel kind of scared getting on the New York subway.
I would too, and I'm not an Asian woman. Today, anyway.
Well,
Who knows what I'll be up to this weekend? Whatever you want, Joe DeVito. Whatever you want. Nice little combination with the black shirt and the blue jacket.
Thank you.
Where's your pipe? I don't know what I'm saying.
wow.
Where does this go? I mean, like, we know this, we see this, and it's like it's still happening. Why doesn't? Where are the adults?
I don't know. Gascon's done an amazing job here. Look at the support he has. He's got both the Crips and the Bloods complimenting
The
him.
unifier.
Bipartisanship.
Yes. If they can do it, so can the Republicans and the Democrats.
Yes, he's reached across the aisle.
Yes.
For these people. It's amazing to me that these people in power seem to have such hatred for the people they represent that they're watching the crime go up, and that he's even got a fanboy who's getting a tattoo of his name, and that is just. That's absurd. You know, he should get a QR code tattooed so that when he's committing his next crime, you just take a picture with your phone and it goes directly to the police report.
Yes, exactly. I love QR codes. Is that fun?
Save some time because they're not concerned with keeping people like this in prison. Or
Yeah, I'm just talking about.
You love them.
Getting scanned.
I just hate when you get like a plastic menu with previous food on it. Drives me crazy. You sit down, you got the big giant Cheesecake Factory menu. They got so many options, and yet all this stuff starts sliding down into your lap. And it's like, I don't need that. I like the QR code. There's no food stuck to the QR code, Kat. Did you ever notice that?
I guess I haven't thought about it as much as you have.
That's why, that's why I'm here asking the questions and
That's
you're
true.
answering them.
Yep.
You're answering.
Are you going to ask me a question?
I'm looking for a good one.
Okay.
I had a question for you, and then I've changed my mind because I'm a little bit worried about Gene trapped in an
Yes.
elevator.
Yeah.
You know,
We're
and
all
it's like it's
concerned.
kind of like thrown me off a little bit. It's thrown off my
I
game.
bet it's throwing him off too.
No, I can almost hear him his faint screams, and there's not a lot of air in that elevator, and he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about tattoos. You've dated men with neck tattoos.
Of course, several, yes.
Yes.
But that's because it's hot.
All right.
What?
Tell me. Say.
I mean, seriously, there'll be a guy, he's not that attractive, but then he's got a neck tattoo, and you're like, all right.
There you go. All right. Well,
What
that's
else?
good
Does it have
to know.
to be on the neck, or can it be anywhere
It's
else?
hotter on the, I mean, preferably it's all over the place, but
What do you make of this? Let's stick to the topic. You've gone off topic. It's
you're
very.
right, I took us there, yeah.
Yes, you took us there. You're like a drunk mom on a field trip.
Not yet, someday maybe.
Yes.
I think that, in general, I think a lot of sentencing enhancements and mandatory minimums can lead to a lot of injustice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way that they kind of remove the ability to consider things on a case-by-case basis. I don't think that the place we should be starting is getting murderers out early.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of things we can improve in terms of our criminal justice system. I'm not losing sleep over murderers. I might lose sleep with more murderers around.
Yes. Well, what you're talking about, the problem here is recidivism, right? We used to lock people up who repeatedly did things. Now we let them out and they recidivize. I think that's a verb.
He didn't do things. He did a murder.
He did a murder.
That's the one
And
I
then-
really don't like.
I know. And then they just keep doing it over and over again. Isn't Gascón being recalled? I think he is.
There's a recall, I believe, petition against him, and there's a recall election against his clone up in San Francisco a few weeks from now.
Yes,
So I
Che
think-
Boudin.
Yes, a lot of people will be watching that one very closely.
Yes.
The thing is, and I think Kat's point is really important, like on a more serious note, policy-wise. I think we can talk about criminal justice reform for nonviolent offenders.
Right.
And this is how they sell it typically to us, but this is the most
bait
violent
switch.
offender. This is a murderer and a gang member who used a gun. They say they're all against guns, and then they're figuring out ways to get him out of prison earlier. That is the opposite of good public policy, and it's going to swing the pendulum back hardcore to like a law and order message. And I think that's part of the reason Republicans are going to sweep up in November.
It's a good point for people who talk about gun control, but it's a bait and switch than murder. It's like we just want the peaceful people out, but all the people that are being let out, there's a lot of violent ones. And there's going to be 70,000 more that are being released, I guess, over this year in California alone. A number I just made up. No, I didn't. Either that or I dreamt it. But there is 70,000. I remember it. All right, before we go, another reminder. This is so exciting. We're less than 2 weeks away from welcoming back our studio audience. It's going to be a big one. Starting May 2nd, we got a new studio. To get your free tickets, go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld. Up next, does Disney need a plan for a more inclusive Peter Pan? Maybe.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.